Good day, everyone. Good day, my lovely queens. Welcome to yet another segment of Relationships and Dating for Women. My name is Linda Nala. So, today's topic is entitled Know Your Worth. I've come to a realization that more and more women are choosing to settle in relationships for fear of being lonely, of being judged, due to peer pressure from family, from friends. But I know in some instances it's also, trying to get out of poverty backgrounds. Unfortunately, this criteria could potentially lead you down the wrong path. Okay? It's important that when choosing a life partner that you have to consider a number of things, okay? It's not always about, being in love. There's so many other elements that you need to consider, that you need to think about before embarking on this journey of a marriage. Okay, for example, it could be compatibility. Okay, you have to consider your goals, your ambitions. Okay, are they aligned? That's very important. Okay, you have to think about your values. Okay, your doctrines, your beliefs. What beliefs or what doctrines will apply in your life together as a couple? Okay, in the event that eventually you do get married, you need to think about that very, very carefully. And then another one is your work ethics. Okay, are you a workaholic? Are you future orientated? That will help you in assessing, your partner, your respective partner, whether you guys can be able to put your heads together and be able to plan for the future together. Okay, that's very important. Highly, highly crucial. However, due to the fact that there's this belief, in society that all good men are taken, I've discovered that more and more of our young ladies are rushing into marriages they have no business getting into. Okay, as a result, they end up being frustrated, they end up being lonely, unhappy, miserable, etc. Yet when they decided to marry, they knew from the onset that maybe their partner was someone that will spend weekends on end with friends, going to parties. Or maybe their partner was someone that was dedicated to their jobs, their careers, their businesses, etc. You knew from the onset, and yet you decided to overlook all of that because you were in a rush to get married. And now you're wondering why you are so unhappy, you are frustrated in that marriage. Okay? It's important before you make the decision to walk down the aisle. Do your research, study your partner, make sure that you guys are, in terms of your vision, your goals, that you guys are aligned, and so that you guys can be able to have a thriving relationship or marriage at the end, okay? If you're a woman and you're still expecting the guy to change, let me warn you, it might not happen in your timetable. A man can only change for the woman that he truly loves. No other reason, okay? It is not going to happen in your timetable. He will change when he chooses to change, period. Just because you're married to him doesn't mean that he loves you. It could have been that you were the only woman that was willing to put up with his nonsense at the time, and that may be the reason why he married you. So before you decide to marry someone, before you decide to rush into marriage, it's important that you discover your worth, okay, as a woman. Don't allow yourself to be pressurized by society standards or to conform to societal standards. Okay, how do you go about this? You may ask. The first thing I would advise you to do is look within. Okay? Stop comparing yourself to others. I know it's easier said than done, because no matter how hard you try, you will just never feel worthy if you keep comparing yourself to others. Okay? I've tried it. I have failed. Okay, I've gotten to a place where I had to embrace the person that I am, with my flaws and all. I've embraced the person that I am. Okay, so it's important that you start looking from within and stop comparing yourself to others. Okay, because you might get lost in this jungle with so much social media content day in and day out. You could easily lose your sense of worth. So it's important that you start tapping into your inner being, body, mind, and soul. Take the time to think about who you are and what makes you happy. The second one is you got to do what makes you feel good. Okay, so what I mean by this is discover your purpose. All right, the one thing that gives you a reason to live, something that you're passionate about. You know, Bishop T.D. Jakes once put it this way. He said, if you can't figure out your purpose, then figure out your passion. Okay, because your passion is what will lead you into your purpose. It's important that you discover your purpose. Discover why you were born. Discover what drives you. What is the one thing that you are passionate about? And then the third one is allow yourself to make mistakes. Okay? I know there has been instances where I've been very hard on myself, especially after making a mistake. You know, I'll go around condemning myself. And that is the biggest mistake that we can ever make as a person, okay? Especially when it comes to relationship, we might be going around basing our self-worth on just that one aspect of our relationship or on our failed marriage, etc. And especially women, I've seen that time and again. Just because that marriage didn't work, just because that relationship didn't work, does not necessarily mean that you are a failure, okay? Remember, or that you are a bad person. Remember, it takes two people to make it work, as I always say, okay? You might have done everything in your power to make the relationship work, but if the other person was not pulling in their weight, then that relationship was bound to fail, or that marriage was bound to fail. So don't go around blaming yourself for the rest of your life. All right? The third one is release yourself from toxic people. You know, toxic people in your life, release them. Okay? You don't need negativity. If you feel that the person, in your life no longer adds value, you have a right to release that person. Let them go. Okay? How do you go about this? You've got to be firm and you've got to be unapologetic. Okay? It is your life. Take responsibility. Take accountability for your life. Okay? You decide who you want to let into your life and who you don't want to let into your life. Okay? And sometimes you gotta realize that it's not your job to save everybody in this world, okay? Some people are in their own journeys, okay? Just like you are. So let them go. Love them from a distance and wish them well, but learn to set boundaries, okay? It's just the only way to keep the peace, all right? To protect your peace. Sometimes it's necessary from friends, from family, etc. But you gotta do it. Eventually, you've got to do it. And then other one is you've got to learn to walk away from situations or people that no longer add value, all right, to your life. Okay, learn to realize that some people they will never be happy no matter what you do. Okay, and it is not your job to make them happy. All right, they've got to discover that for themselves. It is not your job to make them happy. Okay, so release and let go of toxic people. In conclusion, what I just want to close with today is take care of yourself, my beautiful queens. Take care of yourself, body, mind, and soul. Okay, make sure that you have enough emotional energy just to meet your own personal needs. Okay, that's what's important. Okay, make sure that your cup is full. and then it's so that it runs over, because then when it runs over, then you're able to give to others. You cannot give to others what you don't have. So it's important that your cup is full. Keep your cup full at all times, okay? When you are constantly giving away, to others, everything that you've got, that is a setup for failure, right? That is a setup for failure. Try and avoid to be constantly giving to others, people who don't have anything to offer you in return. Put yourself first. It's not being selfish. You are just putting your needs first. It's important so that you can be able to give to others. I hope that you have found this video to be insightful. If you have experienced, toxic relationships, etc., do share your experiences with us in this very group. Okay, share them in our comments box right here. Let us know how you've been able to keep your distance or to cut ties with those toxic people in your life, whether it's family or friends or boyfriends, whatever the case may be. We would like to hear your experiences. Do feel free to like or to share this video with as many of your friends as you possibly can. Let's spread this gospel. I love you lots. Until we meet up again, do take care, my lovely queens, and God bless. Goodbye.